Hi, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh my goodness. So I'm so excited to be here with you today. And guess what? Our statement of the day today is forgiveness establishes an atmosphere of healing. That's forgiveness establishes an atmosphere of healing. And that is so super important for a few reasons. Take my glasses off and talk to you. Okay, so the first thing is that we deal with so many different things in life, right? To where we don't always, to be honest and to be truthful, we don't always show up as our best selves. We can look at someone else's flaws and we can look at something that someone else has done or said to offend or hurt us, right? And think like, how could they have ever, how could they have the audacity? And I'm not giving light to the fact that people have done and said some things to us that were very, very hurtful and that we were scarred or injured by, right? But I'm saying this to say that we don't, all of us, none of us always show up 100%, 100% of the time. Sometime, at some time and at some point in all of our lives, we don't show up as our best selves. You know, at some time and at some point in your life, if you're honest, you show up and you're not showing up as the best that you can be, the best person that you can be. There are times, if you think about it, that you totally regret, or you wish that you would have been better for yourself and better for others during that time, but you weren't, right? And I said that as a point just to show that we all have times in our life where we don't show up the best and we need forgiveness just like other people need forgiveness. So I'm going to go back to the statement of the day, and it's forgiveness establishes an atmosphere for healing. Forgiveness establishes an atmosphere for healing. So I'm Coach Priscilla, and I'm in your empowerment coach. What I do is I love to empower people to infuse them with hope and to help them through stress and anxiety and feeling overwhelmed. So many times in life we deal with really, really difficult times and really difficult things, and most times we try to power through and do everything that we can do to make it on our own and to do our absolute best. Usually going to someone and allowing someone to walk with us is our last resort. We try every resource, right, before we connect with someone, but I'm here to tell you that we are so much better together. So you don't have to do it alone. I'm here for you, and we're going to talk more about this. So now let's go back to talking about forgiveness. If you're with me live here, I want you to give me thumbs up. I want you to give me hearts. I want you to comment and talk to me about how you feel about this subject and what we're talking about. Let me know if you struggle in this area. So I want to hear your thoughts and I want to answer your questions. If you're watching this and this is a replay, type replay in the comments, and I want you to do the same. Share your thoughts, share your comments, share your questions. I want to hear them, and I want to know, and I want to be helpful. I want to share some things that would be helpful to you. Okay, so do that for me. Okay, so when I say healing establishes an atmosphere of forgiveness establishes an atmosphere of healing. This is what I mean. Like I said, we don't always show up as our best selves, right? And that's a given. You don't, I don't, other people, they don't. We try to, but we don't always. That simply means that just as you need forgiveness sometimes, I need forgiveness sometimes as well. And I need to be graceful enough to you to give you what I need as well, right? Because when I can see myself and understand that I'm not always the best. I don't always say all the right things. Sometimes I may say things that are offensive or that are hurtful to someone. I'm not above that. And when that happens, I need for that person to forgive me. I need to be forgiven. So, with that in mind, then I'm more apt to take into consideration that another person may not be in the best space. They may not be in the best place today. I don't know what they're going through, what they're facing, and I would be more apt to be forgiving, to be lenient, to be patient with another person. So, coming to the idea and conclusion that we all need to be forgiven, we all need to be granted forgiveness at some point, at some juncture in our lives. Many times, I'm be honest with you, lots of times, just as I need it, I want to be in a position to where I can give it as well, because that is so important to be able to give someone, to set them free of the burden that you've placed on them, or the shackles that you've placed on them of your unforgiveness or being angry with them, right? To forgive them, to set them free from that is such a blessing. It's such a blessing. So I'm going to tell you something about forgiveness, right? Because when we let people off the hook, and we forgive them, we're also letting ourselves off the hook. Because if we have someone locked in the jail of our unforgiveness, right, in the prison of unforgiveness, then we are the jail keepers. So that means that we're in jail too. If you don't believe it, I'll tell you this story. I remember when I was very young, I had been really, really hurt by someone in my life, and I would be perfectly fine. I could be having a great time, laughing, talking, or whatever. But when that person walked in the room, my smile would completely dry up. My happiness would leave. What does that say? That says that that anger and that frustration and that unforgiveness had more control over my life than me being able to be happy and to move on. Right? So, although a person really did do something to offend me, to hurt me, to harm me, right? For me to hold on to that thing in such a way that I could not let that person off the hook, I could not forgive them, it meant that I was putting a burden on myself, that I was hurting myself, right? By holding on to that grudge, by holding on to that unforgiveness, I couldn't be fully free like I needed to be. So I needed freedom for myself, right? So allowing that unforgiveness to hold on, like lock us up like a pit bull, biting and locking on us, right? To allow that to hold on to us that way, it harms us more than it doesn't help. It never helps. It harms us. It hurts us. So, getting in our minds that, you know what, I need to forgive. I need to forgive, if not just for that person, for me. I need to forgive for me, because I need to be forgiven sometimes, but also because I'm not planning on walking around with this burden on my shoulder forever. I want to be healed. I want to be free, right? So forgiveness is not just for the other person, although it is for the other person. It's for you as well. What if, I'm just going to put this out there, what if the other person never asked for your forgiveness? What if the other person never said, I'm sorry? What if they never were sorry? What if the other person died and left this earth? Are you then left carrying that baggage for the remainder of your life? You don't need the other person to forgive. You just need you to decide that I'm not going to walk around with this heavy load. I'm not going to walk around hurt and broken and not healed in this area for the rest of my life. I know this got real deep real fast, but so many of us are dealing with this. So many of us are struggling through this. And this is where a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration and stress, and, a lot of feeling overwhelmed and unhelpful thinking and behavior and all of that stuff, strained relationships. A lot of things come from us not being able to forgive, or us not forgiving, right? The next thing I want to say is that we have to forgive ourselves as well as forgive other people. So often we are upset with ourselves over things that we've done, things that we've said, things that we've not done by now. We're upset with ourselves. And a lot of times we take it out on other people, the frustration and the anger that we have with ourselves. Well, I want to say that we need to forgive ourselves. Let yourself off the hook. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Let yourself off the hook and give yourself the opportunity to live, to breathe, right? To, as I said yesterday, give yourself the grace to grow and to become a better version of yourself, to be the best you that you've ever been, to get to know the you that you haven't met yet, right? Cut yourself some slack, give yourself some grace, forgive yourself. This is really key, and I'm going to share this with you. It's hard to forgive someone else if we haven't forgiven ourselves. So if we could practice, if you could do this, if you could practice forgiving yourself, letting yourself off the hook, it'll be so much easier for you to forgive someone else and to let them off the hook, right? Think about your internal voice. What are you saying to yourself? What kind of things are you saying to yourself and about yourself? Change what you're saying to yourself. Change what you're saying about yourself. Your voice is the voice that you hear most often in all of the voices in the entire world. Let your voice encourage you. Let your voice nurture you. Let your voice be your biggest cheerleader, right? You need to be for you. You need to be on your side. So forgive yourself and monitor your internal voice, your IV, and change the things that you say that are not positive about yourself. Change those things into positive things. And I'm going to share one last thing with you, and that's stop punishing yourself. Right? I just said let yourself off the hook. Stop punishing yourself for things that you've done in the past, for mistakes that you've made, for bad decisions that you've made. Stop punishing yourself. Decide right now that you're going to stop punishing yourself, because healthy, right? Healthy healing begins where punishing yourself ends. I'm going to say that again. Your healing is going to begin when you stop punishing yourself. Healing begins when punishment ends. So forgive yourself and begin your journey of healing, okay? I want you to do that for yourself. Do that for you, and you'll be so happy that you did. You'll begin to see so much light, so much life, your relationships restored, just healthier relationships in your life. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. So don't forget to share your thoughts with me. I have a workshop coming up, and it is on self care. I want to help you. I want to help you to eliminate stress and anxiety. And we're going to talk about self awareness, because if you know yourself, then you can share that information. You can first learn how to emotionally regulate. You can know how to become the you that you want to become. Do you even know what you love, right? Do you know the you that you want to see? You might, sometimes we just know that we don't like who we see in the mirror. Well, what do you want to see? What do you value? What do you care about? What do you love? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about techniques. I'm going to teach some techniques that will help you to strengthen you and to take control, again, right, of your emotions, to help you to emotionally regulate, to get rid of the stress and the anxiety and feeling overwhelmed that you're experiencing in your life. I'm going to teach you how to set up a plan where you can regularly take care of yourself. We're going to learn how to prioritize us this year so that we can take better care of ourselves, so that we can show up in life as happier and more successful and feeling more fulfilled in our lives every single day. So, to register for this workshop, I need you to go to EYLcoaching.com. That's EYLcoaching.com/workshop. EYLcoaching.com/workshop. Go there and register, and I cannot wait to see you in the workshop. You take care. Be blessed. Bye.